Welcome to Prime 9 TV.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, Vijay.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah. So, how is it going?
Good. Busy last few weeks. Crunch time.
Crunch time.
We were busy this morning, all morning.
Okay.
Walking. We did about 365 homes.
Wow.
Knocking
Which place?
Behind Hanuman Temple.
Behind Hanuman Temple.
Precinct. Yeah.
Is that all the Indians or Indian Americans or?
Probably majority of them were like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Majority of them were. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why it's important to tell them to come out and vote.
Okay. How did they receive?
It's positive, but
Okay.
most of them are not home though.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were probably weekend
Okay.
activities.
Okay.
So you probably get about like 20% hit rate.
Okay.
The remaining, we just leave the brochure on the door.
I see. Okay. So, do you think you should go back again? And
No, I mean, this is common. This
is
very
common,
It's
okay.
very common, yeah. Especially with people have their doorbell cameras.
okay.
So they usually don't answer too sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people are outside doing yard work.
Mhm.
Go talk to them, shake their hands.
Mm.
I met a gentleman, he was doing yard work, shook his hand and he was super excited. He's like, you're the first person to come and talk to me. So I'm voting for you.
Nobody else has done it. That's what he means.
For him, like nobody's
for him,
come and
yeah.
has said, give me
Okay.
gigs, support me like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is a gap. I mean, there is definitely a gap, especially if you see Indian Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand these votes.
Yeah.
Although there are so many in number, they don't understand the importance.
It's very important because in my interviews, I've been telling people that more than the national election, local elections are so important because it impacts people's taxes.
Right.
Schools,
Yeah, I'm actually planning on doing one of the just one monologue to enlighten the Indian Americans to see what they are missing and what the gap is and what is their vote power to make or break.
It's actually huge because I talk to every community members. I talk to all the party inner circles. They always talk about Indian American, because we are like this, like we usually don't always align to a party. We go by the candidate, right? So it's like a swinging. We swing elections literally, right? Look at the trend in all the elections. We've been swinging local elections. Yeah.
Tell me something about yourself, Karthik. Where Vijay?
Yeah.
You go by Vijay, Karthik? Vijay.
At home, Vijay. Friends call me Karthik. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So tell me about yourself in like a 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sure. Been in Frisco for 10 years. Married, twin boys. Raised our kids in Frisco ISD. They are now juniors at UT Dallas. Both are entrepreneurs as well on the side, right? I've been in the US for almost 30 years now, right? Last year, I semi-retired from corporate life to focus on community giving.
What did you do in corporate life?
I was, the most recent job was I was the global chief technology officer for Procter & Gamble, a Fortune 50 company.
That's a big
right?
company,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like based out of Cincinnati, isn't it?
Cincinnati. I was to travel every week to Cincinnati.
Oh,
Every week, literally.
Chief Technology Officer.
Yeah, handling
CTO.
the single point person for all tech decisions at Procter & Gamble. A team of about 1,500 people, right? Across the globe teams. So traveling across the globes too. So 1 week in Cincinnati, 3 weeks was like go to different countries to meet the teams.
Mm-hmm.
And also
You visited India during that course?
India not because India we were just about to build the office.
Okay.
Even though Procter & Gamble India exists,
Right. I
our
thought so.
technology team was super small, and we were just in the middle of trying to figure out where to create a new location. We were debating should we do Romania or India, other locations, and we settled on both Romania and India.
Okay. Okay.
But I traveled to Philippines, China,
Okay.
Europe, Asia, and now South America, Central America as well. Yeah. Yeah.
What about your wife?
My wife is Kelly Karthik. She's a Caucasian.
Okay.
She's not of Indian descent.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But she's been very active in the community.
Okay.
people come to her because she's connected to me. They come to her, and she can connect them, anybody to.
So it's very
anybody.
interesting. So she's not of an Indian descent. You
She's not
said.
of Indian descent, no.
Okay.
But
so how did you guys meet then?
we met in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Two friends.
How long have you been married now?
21 years.
Wow.
21
okay.
years.
Strong going, huh?
Strong going, yeah, so far.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you guys like adjust, right? How does, I mean, of course she did. Now probably because of your 21 years of experience,
so
she understands.
She already had some exposure to the South Asian friends and culture.
Okay.
Right. So it is easy for her to like, see me, talk to me, and then we were dating. We dated for about a short time. And then my mom passed away in the middle of that.
Sorry.
So of course, then we had to sort of like call off the wedding, and we paused for about a year, and then we got married. I have two weddings, one here and one in India.
Oh, you did?
We did two weddings.
Kelly went to India?
Yeah, she went to India. We did a proper Hindu wedding.
Oh, okay. And
Hindu wedding.
What was her experience?
She loved it. But this is funny because the priest actually what he said, we got to. They made my sister and my brother-in-law adopt her first. Because somebody has to give her away.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
To give her away.
Correct. In our tradition.
In our tradition.
Yeah.
So my sister and brother-in-law had to adopt her. So we had to wake up early for the ceremony.
Adoption ceremony.
And then adopted. Then afterwards, he was giving her away to me.
So
it was beautiful. She loved it. Food was good. A lot of people came over there.
Of course, yeah.
It was well done, and since then we go to India all the time as a family. She loves India. We go for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks usually. So she's used to the culture.
I have to, you know what? Now that you're talking about it, I have to interview her.
You have to, yeah.
And on, I mean, I don't want to call it as a race or anything, but a Caucasian. Talking about India, I want to hear that. And how she felt and all that stuff,
supportive and extremely protective of Desis.
Wow.
Very protective Desis.
Indian Americans.
Very protective Indian Americans, right?
So, although she's Caucasian, but then she built her heart for the Indian Americans.
All her friends.
That is so nice to hear.
All her friends say that she's just like Caucasian outside. Inside, she's Indian.
Good.
Right?
That's good. That's so good to hear. So good to hear. That is also good for Frisco City Council, right?
Yeah.
So that you now have both sides of the world in under one umbrella.
Yep.
Right. That's really good. Really. So I'm going to if you are okay. And if she's okay, then I would want to bring her to my TV channel and then talk to her and see
we'll do that. Yeah,
what she thinks about the India.
She can talk to you about all the way from culture, people, and then all the way going back to how we are like family oriented.
Sorry. So did you convert her to Indian or you converted to a Caucasian or an American?
I think
like a. We call like white American.
I mean, it is basically, I think we both sort of came to a middle ground.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because you have two cultures coming together.
Okay.
So, when people talk about assimilation.
Right.
I have a good example. I'm doing it at home.
At home.
We at home, we're doing it.
Yeah. Right? Good. Okay.
We do it at home. So we sort of expose the kids to both sides.
Okay.
Right?
So,
like they have all kinds of friends.
How do they look like now?
They're about like 6 feet 2 inches tall.
Wow. I mean, you're a tall guy.
Yeah,
tall. I mean like from.
I mean they're mixed looking. People learn to like when they were little kids. A lot of their teachers and their classmates thought that they were Hispanic.
Okay.
And then, but the last few years, when they're in the college, people think that they are like Middle Eastern, because it's a mix of two skin colors, right?
Good. Yeah.
But they're good kids,
Yeah, that's good.
Whenever I tell them that mommy needs help, they show up at home, right?
Good
kids.
Yeah, good. Very good. So with Indian culture, Indian values, and then Western side of understanding, which is good.
And I was surprised that my son told me yesterday that the best movie he's seen was Durandar 2.
Wow.
And
Really?
he's like, and he's been watching it. He listen to music. I'm like, you can't speak the language.
And he has no idea about, I mean, not like us, right?
They're not like us,
India. Yeah.
but him and his whole gang of friends went and watched the movie in the theater
Oh, good.
with subtitles. They watched it, and now they're listening to the music. And he says, like, even Hollywood should make movies like Bollywood.
Wow. Bollywood is trying to, mimic or
Make that, but he was pretty impressed.
Good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good, man. Wonderful. So let's get to my questions.
Sure, yeah.
For all the people, I've been asking these questions, common questions.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get to those questions straight up, and let's see how you answer. What you want to say about those?
Perfect.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you you want to become a politician from a technologist to what is
I mean,
that? What's the deal?
It's not in my blood to be a politician. I'm brutally way too honest with people. And I call if it is wrong, it's wrong, right? That's what my grandma has taught me. That's what my dad has taught me. I will stand up for bullies all the time. This is because people have said, Vijay, I should run. The city council needs some kind of a person who's going to help completely make it more transparent and fix it, right?
Good.
That's why I'm running.
Wonderful.
But no ambitions to be a politician.
Oh, okay. So some of the questions are around what you just mentioned, like bullying and all that stuff, right? This is around. I framed some of the questions around the Indian Americans also.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you know that there are 30% of Frisco population which is Indian Americans, right? Name one specific thing you have done in this campaign to earn their vote.
We have been, even before the campaign, we have been extremely active with the community. We have been active for almost 8 years now, close to maybe 10 years. Community, whether it is helping community members, displaced community members. I do a lot of like student mentoring, college students mentoring, a lot of professionals who lose their jobs. They call me and say, hey, Vijay, I lost my job. Help me connect. I do that pretty often, right?
So you're using your Procter Gamble CTO?
My network of recruiters,
okay.
Whether it is or IT consulting companies that I know.
Right,
I'll say, hey, if you have a need for an infrastructure engineer or a software engineer, here's a guy, go talk to him, right?
Right.
And I've helped a lot of people get jobs like that.
Good. That's good.
And then when people have issues with the legal systems, right? We don't know, like Indian Americans don't know how to navigate sometimes. They get stuck.
Right. Of course.
So that's where my wife steps in. So my wife and I hold hands together.
Okay.
And we sort of help them say, hey, here's what you can do. Here, know your rights. Here are your rights. And then we'll connect them to the appropriate.
How does she help? Like, is she into illegals?
No, she's been a culture coach for a long time.
Okay.
Right? So that's how she sort of has embraced the community. Right?
Okay.
And so people seek out to and say, hey, Kelly, can you help us? And that's how she's been connected as well. Yeah.
Speakers at Frisco Council meetings, right, have used the phrase Indian takeover and invoked replacement theory language from the public podium. As a council member, what exactly would you do when that happens, and what authority does the council have to stop it?
Okay. First and foremost, that verbiage is unacceptable. But having said that, from a legal framework point of view, free speech cannot be stopped. Anybody should be able to come and say anything that they want. That is the beauty of America. First Amendment says right to speak. Right? You can say anything you want. As far as the speech does not create a credible threat, they can say whatever they want to say, right? But if they are too offensive, right? What I can do is I cannot react to that on that meeting, because public input sessions are usually one-way sessions.
Oh, okay.
They come and say something to you, which is why you see all the hatred. They come and say something, you can't react to it.
Oh,
right?
I see.
But on the next session, right? Next session, you as a council member can make comments to that. You know what I mean? Recently, one of our council members, Bert Thakur, he said the same thing. The next session, he came back and said, like, we Indian Americans are one of the largest taxpayers in Frisco. We are law-abiding citizens and blah blah blah. So same thing that I do too, right? But then there is something called decorum. Decorum has to be maintained. So we got to make sure that we sort of tell tell the speakers, that yes, you can say anything you want to say, but don't cross the line of going into credible threat, right? Then afterwards, but it is I will stand up for anybody who's speaking, saying something that is not right or threatening. I've lived my life through that. Like I said, mentioned earlier, if somebody's bullying, I'm the first person to stand up over there and question them. Right? I'll do that because it's uncalled for. This is just like you're trying to create noise when there's no noise.
So on the same lines, right? I mean, I do have set of questions I want to ask,
yeah.
but then I'm just deviating
Sure,
from my
yeah.
set of questions because we're talking about this, the theory and then whatever is being referred, right? And I think this is now growing at a very fast pace with one of the lady, Sarah Gonzalez. I will take her name. I don't hesitate to take her name, where she's now knocking at different places and calling out H1Bs and fraud and whatnot, right? She went to one of the doorstep of one of the Indian Americans and create a um, big news, and she became all of a sudden she became a celebrity, now,
yeah.
right? What is your take on those things?
So first and foremost is that is there truth to that? Probably a small percentage of truth to that. It's not as widespread as what she makes it think. I call it as education. People don't know about H1Bs, right? They sort of they have this like, oh, I see too many of this like South Asian people moving to Frisco or Prosper. How come they're all here, right? And they immediately say something is going on, versus trying to understand why we are here, right? So you have these influencers who will capitalize on that because ultimately these influencers, they need views.
So you think she's making a business out of?
Could be. It could easily be. It could be. We don't know yet. We don't know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that, there is there truth to some of the stuff that's happening? Probably. I don't know. There could be probably a small percentage of people exploiting this with this H1B visa, but not all of them, right? So I think instead of shining the light on the goodness of H1B and what quality of skills we brought to the country and how we are helped in this country, we're shining a light on a small percentage. And the small percentage may be centered in Frisco, right? But on a vast scale in USA, it is pretty minuscule, right? There's no harm done to an individual, right? Somebody may have faked something. We don't know about it. There's no proof,
Right.
The Frisco police has got no complaints about that. Right?
So overall, do you think what she was doing right is it right, or do you think she was just stepping over the fence?
I mean, there are independent journalists who tend to do that because they want fame. They want fame, and they knew what is the hot topic. The hot topic was this because there was like a collision course of multiple influencers coming together, right? Are they bad actors behind the scenes pushing them? Probably, we don't know, right? But a collision course of like the 3, 4, 5 influencers started to come together, and they sort of like created this fear amongst people that the Indian Americans are taking over, right? And that sentiment is now live for clicks and views and other stuff.
All right. So if they are watching our interview right now,
Yeah.
what is that you would want to tell them?
I would tell them that they need to first of all, they need to fully understand what is the H1B program. They need to understand the prevailing wage program built into it, right? They need to understand how the H1B petition even works, right? Who's a beneficiary on the H1B. They need to understand the whole process, right? I've actually spoken to some of the Texas congressmen about this as well, and I've been to so many meetings where I'm just floored and just completely like shocked to understand that the people trying to talk about H1B have no knowledge on H1B.
So what is that your message for them? Any of these influencers who are right now talking?
And I've said, come and talk to me directly. Come and talk to me because I've spoke to everybody. Give me 1 hour in any stage. I will walk you through step by step on how the process works, right?
Right. So that's part of the process, right, Vijay? But what is your message for them?
A message for them it is understand the whole, educate yourself on the immigration process, right? Educate on the benefits of the immigration process, right? And put the limelight on the positive. Maybe 99% is positive out of that. Focus on that. We're creating a 1%. 1% could be negative, something like that. Focusing on that. Every community, every group has bad apples. They are bad apples, right? So limelight on bad apples is actually not gonna. It's actually gonna hurt in the long run.
All right, so a little bit off
Yeah.
the topic. No, but I wanted everybody to speak on it, and because there is a disharmony, and people of Indian American descent are now living in fear.
But and people need to and have very clear. This to say, when somebody comes and talks to you in the street with a camera or a microphone, know your rights. Know your rights. You can just say, "I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you." Period. Right? There was another video in Aubrey I saw where this guy is walking into a grocery store and grilling the guy, and the guy is still answering questions. You should just say, "I'm sorry, the doors are closed. I'm not going to answer any questions to you." Right? You just end it right away. Right? As you, and the amount of people who are oblivious to this is insane. Right? People are driving in the cars and they're answering questions to him. I would never answer questions, because every question you answer, they're going to pick the answer apart, right?
Right. And out of the context.
Out of the
and
context, right? So this community is being victimized for stuff. I mean, like H1B, before H1B, work permit visa has been around for a long time. Right? You go to California, you go to New York, Chicago, Seattle, right? New Jersey, this has existed, right?
So, what is one message you want to tell the Indian Americans on how to react to these things?
I would say very clearly that first of all is know your rights, right? Don't engage with these people, right? And then just do what you do. That's it, right? But reacting and engaging is actually we keep tripping over and over again on this, right? I watch videos. Someone says something and then they keep tripping over it. Don't do that.
So do not answer any of these.
They don't need to answer any questions because there's no authority coming and asking them questions.
Right.
You answer only to authorities. Don't answer to anybody because you haven't committed a crime yet.
Correct.
Right? So just you do what you need to do.
Anyway, so back to the questions, right? Traffic on Preston and DNTs, right? School overcrowding and lack of parks in new neighborhoods are the three most common complaints from Frisco families.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one. What is your concrete fix and what is your timeline for this? Either it is Preston and DNT traffic, school overcrowding, and lack of parks in new neighborhoods. One of those.
I can pick one, but I can answer the other two as well. So first, I would pick traffic. I've looked at every candidate who's run for city council in the last maybe 5 years, 6 years. Everybody has talked about traffic, but nobody has fixed it. Right? The reason nobody has fixed it is because Frisco alone cannot fix it. The egress and ingress of traffic in Frisco is not Frisco's problem. It's a problem of neighboring cities because people travel out of Frisco, come over here.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to work with neighboring cities. Frisco shares traffic lights with neighboring cities, right? So make sure that they're sequenced and well controlled. Work with the county officials, Denton County, Carlton County. Frisco falls in 2 counties. Work with the NTTA and Texas DART to figure out what we need to do, whether we expand tollways, how do you do traffic lighting, right? And Frisco recently announced something called microtransit. Microtransit is in partnership with the Denton County Transportation Authority. They're deploying microtransit. Think of it like almost like Uber, like a ride share service.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh.
And especially during the World Cup season, it'd be helpful, right? It's going to be operated within 21 square miles of Frisco. So not all of Frisco, but most of Frisco.
Okay.
Right? And you should be able to use an app. They have an app. It's launching in May, so it should come out soon. You use the app and you call the service. Service will tell you, I'm in the corner of, you tell where you are. He'll say, I can come to this corner, walk maybe few minutes, get
Gotcha.
there, and then he can take you to wherever you want to go within Frisco.
Okay.
Right? It's a pretty nominal fee.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
What is it called? Like
micro transit.
micro transit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be a blessing as well. Right?
Gotcha.
And then just in terms of this also, they have been doing this like smart AI traffic deployment.
Okay.
I think it's more around like how do you sequence lights instead of every light waiting for a few minutes. You detect traffic, and then based on that you just change the light ordering, right? But you got to work with other cities because it has to flow across. You can't open up one and shut another one.
Correct.
So they're doing a trial on it.
So there has to be a collaboration between all the
all
neighboring
the neighbor
cities.
cities, yeah. Plus the other problem is the cities are also growing.
Right.
Prosper is growing, so there's construction everywhere, and more people are moving to Texas.
Frisco has temples, culture centers,
Yeah.
and a thriving Indian business corridor. Should the city actively fund and promote that ecosystem, or is that the community's job to handle on its own?
I would say city cannot just say they want to promote one community, right? City can provide the platform and ecosystem for all the communities to thrive, right? Indian American community has, is what 30 odd percentage in Frisco. They're growing, right? We contribute to the bottom line tax base. A lot of small businesses are owned by Indian Americans. What Frisco can do to Indian American and other communities is that we can sort of like sort of explain to them, like how do you do permittings, zoning processes, what incentives are available. Most people don't know about that, right? So just work with them and again educate them on that.
When Indian Americans in Frisco report a hate incident, does Frisco Police Department have the culture training to handle it correctly? And if not, what would you do about it?
So Frisco PD is probably one of the like country's recognized police department. They are well trained. A lot of us moved to Frisco because of the safety. Safety comes from the first responders, right? But having said that, as the community grows, the training that the police officers have also need to keep up. So if there's a gap, as a city council member, we'll make sure that they are trained, they are staffed adequately as well. But more than training, there is something called like trust, right? Do people trust the police first responders where they can pick up the phone and talk to them, which means that there should be community engagement. When we have events and other stuff, we just invite them as guests as well. So people get to know the first responders, and that builds trust. With trust comes open communication.
Frisco is built out. The easy growth decade is over. What is your single highest priority for the city next 10 years? And what specifically would you do in your first term to move it forward?
So Frisco is around 87% built out. 13% there's to be built out. The future land use map clearly calls out, here is how it's going to be built out. That's more of just like a sort of, it says that here is a recommended way to go build it. It's not set in stone yet, right? But so the 13% should be like smart, strategic, responsible growth. What I mean by that is the number one employer in Frisco is Frisco ISD. Mm-hmm. We need to bring high-paying jobs. So which means that attract fortune companies to Frisco, right? When you attract big companies to Frisco, they add to the bottom line tax revenue, which means that
we have space these days.
Yeah, the 13% that will be built out. There's something called like mixed use zoning that's happened, right? It happens primarily across the major roads and tollways, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I'm a fortune company, if I want to relocate to Frisco, proximity to highway and tollway is more important, right? Mm-hmm. So the future land use clearly calls it out, So we need to focus on that and make sure that we are attracting top companies, right? We need to also protect our EDC and CDC money that we have, right? So every sales tax that is generated, 0.5% of that goes to EDC, 0.5 goes to CDC. That bucket of money is used to incentivize companies whether it's on the EDC side or like some other like small theater or some shopping or whatever it is on the CDC side, right? We got to protect it. If we keep giving it away to everybody, then the pot is actually getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Protect that the EDC CDC bucket and use it in the right way to bring the top companies to Frisco. When you bring the top companies to Frisco, it's going to create jobs for Frisco, right? So we can have some kind of recommend some kind of a sort of like not legal T's and C's, but that says that we should, if you're going to hire local, right? If you need services and products, get from local small business instead of a outside company. So that'll cultivate the growth within Frisco.
The next question: Frisco homeowners are paying some of the highest property tax in Collin County. I'm one of those. What would you cut from the city budget, and what would you protect no matter what?
Yeah, so I would start with zero-based budgeting. And what I mean by that is, instead of carrying over the same budget from the previous year to current year and then adding on top of it, you can say zero-based budgeting, but keep the essential services intact, which is public safety, first responders. There's no compromise. We have to have that. We got to fund that, right? But look at other low-hanging fruits. Whether do we have like duplicate processes, administrative overheads that can be cut off, right? But then also attracting fortune companies, big corporations will help the bottom line tax revenue.
Is there any company in your mind, this question is not in my list, but I just thought about asking because you talked about it in other question also, right? Is there any company in your mind which you think is coming in here or will come in here, or you plan on bringing in here into Frisco?
Unfortunately, whatever EDC is discussing, they don't discuss it in public.
Oh, okay.
It is sort of within closed doors, right? For various reasons, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been told that Frisco is actively working on attracting some fortune companies, right? Oh. They are in discussions happening. Frisco recently lost AT&T to Plano, right?
Oh, okay.
Which was a big loss for Frisco because there was close to $60 million in tax revenue that we lost, right?
Okay. So they moved to Plano?
They moved to Plano. They're moving to Plano now, right? From Dallas. So Dallas took a hit.
Oh.
They moved headquarters from Dallas to Plano, right?
Oh, okay.
But Frisco was in the running for it, right?
Oh, I see.
Okay. So, but there are other fortune companies that we can attract, right? But if I'm on the stage, I'm in a very unique position because I was on the other side.
Right.
When I was my global CTO,
correct,
I was negotiating with cities and countries.
Gotcha.
Right? So I know the language, what they need. Right.
So
I can coach and help them.
This is going to be a good bridge between the companies and you.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. All right, so last question, Vijay, for you, right? One commitment on camera to Frisco Indian American community.
Yep.
What is it?
The one commitment to the Frisco Indian American community is that I will be there for them, just like I'll be there for anybody else, right? My phones are open 24/7. We'll open 24/7. People can call me, email me. I will listen to everybody's concerns, right? And also expose them to opportunities within Frisco as well, right? Within the legal domains, right? But of course, we can't give preferential treatment to one community over the other, but have a fair chance, and then grow the community and help them out. Yeah.
Okay, one last silly question, though, for you. Right?
Yeah.
So you are from Indian descent.
Yep.
Your wife is from Caucasian.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys ever fight on the cultural?
We do. I mean, like every marriage. If you don't argue, you have to argue. Our arguments make you strong. We argue about things that are just small things, right? We're like, for example, I argue about like wearing shoes inside the house. I don't wear shoes inside the house, but sometimes accidentally she may wear the shoe for like 10 steps inside the house. And I'm like, hey, you're wearing the shoes, go back and take it off, and then we sort of discuss back and forth, right? We talk about like food comes up all the time, I'm
So do you win those arguments? Or you
sometimes
think you're winning those arguments?
I think I make her think she's winning.
Oh my God! Seriously?
No. I think in the end we make sure that that it is cordial, right?
Okay.
So
I have never seen a man winning an argument
no,
over a woman.
no, it's very hard. Yeah,
But,
I agree with
but
you.
you just said you.
I make her think that she won, or maybe she makes me think that I won, right?
That probably is right. All right. Anyway,
Yeah,
one last thing you want to tell the voters
yeah.
that what is the importance of voting in this election? What would that be for my viewers?
Yeah, the most important for the viewers is that local elections matter, right? More than national election, local elections matter because every single vote impacts your taxes, the ordinance, the permitting, the zoning that impacts you directly. There was a zoning issue recently next to 121 and Coit that impacted the residents right there, right? But those residents did not come out to vote, right? If they had come out to vote and pick the right candidate, we wouldn't be in this mess, right? So it's so important because don't ignore these elections. These are like the first mile. This is the most important election, right? And these elections are won by 50, 100, 200 votes. Yeah.
Okay. And you think Indian Americans can make a difference?
They can make a big difference. If you look at all the candidates, they sort of like go after and talk to, hey, host a meet and greet. I want to come to your subdivision, because they know that chunk of vote is going to shift the election.
Well, thank you very much for coming on to my channel and talking with me. Hope you will win this election and become our Frisco City Council member.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Yeah, namaste. Yeah, thank you.